So is every story we do an excuse for you to wear a funny hat?
You should know the answer to that by now. Although specifically in this story, it's quite apt because we're doing a myth about sewers.
Sewers?
Well, specifically explosions within sewers.
You mean like from a methane buildup?
Yes, but it's not just about methane explosions. It's about during a methane explosion, do the manhole covers in the street above the sewer get blown high into the air?
Well, that sounds like a classic, and it's perfect for us.
I totally agree.
It's no myth that the decay of waste inside sewers makes them the perfect breeding ground for combustion. However, could a stray spark trigger an epic explosion and send manhole covers skyrocketing? Could a manhole ever turn missile?
What's the plan?
Well, it seems clear to me that this myth has to end with us testing it full scale. We need full-size manhole covers over a real sewer.
I agree, but you know what? Before we lock in on a full-size plan, let's do a small-scale one first and see if we can learn anything.
Sounds like a good idea.
This ought to do it.
So to find out if a methane kaboom can make manholes fly, the MythBusters get their minds into the sewer.
This is a Schedule 80 steel pipe, and I'm about to make it into a miniature sewer with a viewing port all along one side, which is hopefully going to be explosion-proof.
This cumbersome pipe should perfectly replicate a sewer in miniature. But with great weight comes great responsibility.
You see us build a lot of stuff on this show, and a lot of times it's kind of like jazz. We are really just figuring it out as we go along.
Oh, it's beautiful.
But when you're building something this heavy and substantial, you can't quite do it that way. You actually have to plan 2 or 3 steps ahead.
Let's weld this puppy down.
Because everything you're doing and everything you're going to do is going to require moving hundreds of pounds of steel around.
Oh, this is heavy.
Not only can it make it logistically difficult, but fingers can be lost, eyes can be poked out. It's dangerous.
Watch your fingers.
It's lovely.
Yeah, it is. I can't believe this is a small scale.
It may be big,
Perfect.
but to withstand a methane explosion, it has to be. And to complete its authentic aesthetic, Jamie needs to make these.
That's a manhole cover.
Their mini model follows the classic sewer design, a large horizontal channel with smaller vertical manhole pipes to connect it to street level. But there's one crucial difference.
So clearly in a sewer, there's all sorts of waste, human waste, household waste, and those wastes produce the dangerous gases that can lead to an explosion. That's not how we're creating our gases. Now, we're just calling up the welding store and bringing in some methane and pumping it in. But remember, methane is a little tricky. It requires a precise ratio of air to gas in order to explode.
9% in 3.
And that's exactly the ratio that we'll be using today. Why? Because this myth isn't really about the circumstances that lead to an explosion. It's about what happens afterwards. The question we're answering is, will those manhole covers fly sky high?
To find that out, Adam and Jamie are going to test a series of potentially explosive sewer scenarios. The first test is the most standard sewer setup, an open-ended system.
Here's how this procedure is going to go down. First, we fill our chamber with this. Methane, exactly 0.12 cubic feet, or a stoichiometry of 9.5% gas to air by volume. All right, you ready? I'm going to turn on the gas.
I'm ready.
Okay. That gas will flow into the chamber until it's the correct amount, then we shut off all the valves. Then we mix the air and the gas with this little whisper fan. We turn on this fan for exactly 2 minutes. Let the air and the gas get together. It's a nice looking rig.
Yeah.
That might be in the running for the heaviest small scale thing we've ever built. At that point, we will plug in this neon transformer, setting a spark, and hopefully getting the manhole cover launches of our dreams.
But will the free flow of air and gas in the open-ended sewer mean the manholes fly?
This is Drain Disaster, Open System, in 3, 2, 1, go. That was totally boring. I was like, wait, let me do that again, hold on.
Despite igniting the methane at its explosive ratio, the manhole covers didn't get air.
Manhole cover check, 1, 2, 3, all still on. I don't think an open system is that energetic.
No.
And the reason for that lethargic blast? Well, for that, it's over to the Heineman.
Think of this like a gun. If the back of the barrel of the gun is closed, then the exploding gunpowder goes this way and pushes the bullet out the end of the barrel. However, if that breech is open, the gas is going to follow the path of least resistance and escape here, and it's not going to do anything to the bullet.
It's not looking good for the open system, but this myth doesn't rest there.
I'm making a mess. For science!
There's a whole lot more manhole mayhem to come. In this drain disaster, supposedly a sewer explosion sends manhole covers sky high. However, with their open-ended system, that wasn't the case, as the explosion took the path of least resistance. So for the next test, the MythBusters are closing the sewer, and that's not as crazy as it sounds.
There are many places in which a sewer can become a closed system. You can have a large pipe that immediately makes a right-angle turn into small pipe. Gases have a hard time going around corners like that when they're under pressure. You can have a part of the sewer above water with a bunch of the sewer underwater. All of a sudden, that becomes a closed system.
But will a methane explosion in a closed sewer make the difference and send the manhole covers sky high?
In 3, 2, 1, go. Awesome. Go.
Apparently, yes.
All the manhole covers went, and it sounded cool too.
The high-speed referee proves that not only did the lids flip, but they got significant air.
Wow, that is stunning. 1 and 3 are already almost at 24 inches above the pipe.
Number 3 actually made it a little higher, 30 inches, just
Yeah.
touched.
Wow.
Go.
Well, that worked pretty much exactly as we hoped it would. And here's what's going on in there. The reason those manhole covers start to fly before the fire even gets to them is that the fire is an expanding gas, and it is pushing air ahead of it, kind of like a piston. That piston is causing an increase of pressure, which is released by the manhole cover flying. That's what we wanted to see.
Go.
The closed sewer scenario may have achieved manhole flight, but there's one more parameter for the guys to test inside their small-scale drain.
I'm making a mess. For science.
Mom, this is the way it's supposed to look.
That's right, they're adding debris, because more junk might lead to a bigger kerthunk.
Now you might be looking at this and thinking, how is your chamber full of springs and coiled wire anything remotely approaching a real-world scenario? How does that kind of blockage occur in a real sewer? Well, actually it does. Real sewers have all sorts of things, like remnants of workmen working on them, spools of wire, ladders, equipment, things that washed into the sewer, different sizes of pipes in the sewer that actually change and constrict the airflow. This kind of thing can absolutely happen inside a sewer.
And with the springs providing 20% blockage, will they put a spring in the step of the manholes?
All right, here we go. Drain disaster, small scale, 20% obstruction, single ignition source, and 3, 2, 1, go. Oh! Wow!
That was more energetic.
That was significantly, massively more energetic. Go. Nice!
The scattering of springs accelerated the burn for the most dramatic drain explosion so far.
Wow, look at that, how fast it moves.
I've never seen anything like that.
That is like a fireworks show.
That was amazing. So what's happening here? Well, if you look at the unblocked burn, you'll see that the flame front is taking up maybe, in this case, about 1/4 of a square foot. It's moving out spherically from the ignition source. But looking at the blocked burn, you'll see that the flame starts to wrinkle the minute it meets these obstructions that we put in the chamber. That wrinkling creates a much larger surface area. It may be several square feet for all we know. But the end result is that the flame front is able to accelerate much more quickly throughout the burn, and it leaves the other one behind in the same time.
go.
And that speedy flame front creates the pressure that propels the manhole covers sky high.
Up over 36 inches, number 3, number 2, and number 1.
And they're off the scale.
Freaking awesome.
Well, that's what we need to do in the full size.
I think we have our testing parameters. So what have we learned from the largest, at least heaviest small-scale experiment we've ever built? We've learned 2 things. 1, it's looking pretty good for the myth. 2, for maximum height on these manhole covers, I think what we're looking at is exactly what we see here. That is a closed system with a single point of ignition and the blockage all the way down. That's what we're going to use going full scale. High-speed shots are some of the most beautiful things we've ever gotten in small scale. Where do we stand in going full scale?
Well, the best case scenario is a closed system with lots of blockages.
Also, surprisingly, it turns out that nobody wants to let us use a real sewer to blow up.
Shocking.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to make our own. I'm thinking dig a nice big trench, put down some real sewer parts with real manhole covers and have a go at it.
Works for me.
3, 2, 1, go.
So to upscale their best case scenario sewer, the guys will need to get down and dirty in Ione and build their own.
Nice wide open space.
Perfect to blow up a sewer in.
Now, of course, the first prerequisite of building your own sewer is a hole. In order to get started, we're going to need to find a hole.
Here's one.
Perfect!
It's a conveniently large hole for some inconveniently large construction.
Our sewer is going to be 40 feet long, and it's going to be made of sections of something known as box culverts. They're precast concrete pieces that'll be 4 feet high and 6 feet wide. The first thing we have to do is put those in here and join them together.
Yep, and if you thought the small-scale rig was heavy-duty,
That piece of culvert behind me weighs 32,000 pounds, 16 tons. Altogether, this is the largest construction project we've ever undertaken for an experiment.
it is. And luckily, the team of heavy lifters are on hand to choreograph the culverts into place.
I want to set it to music. You guys are like ballet.
With the channel in position, the guys can get to work on changing it.
At some point, we're going to cap this off, and it's going to be as dark as a tomb. We need to be able to see what's going on in here. So we're going to light it up with these. It'll be festive.
And the festivity doesn't stop there.
There, nice little Christmas trees. These things aren't just decorations. We saw in our small-scale experiment that obstructions like this dramatically speed up the burn. And so these may make the difference between manhole covers that jump up a little bit or a lot.
They're standing in for real-life blockages like sewer servicing equipment and garbage. And based on the small scale, they should accelerate the speed of the burn.
You may be wondering why we're going whole hog on this thing rather than working incrementally up to it. Why start with the best case scenario? Well, for 2 reasons. We are spending a tremendous amount of time and energy building a full-size, full-scale sewer, and we don't know that maybe a mid-scale explosion would render it useless for further tests. Given the number of unknowns, I think it's safe to say that we only have 1 shot at this. The other reason we're going full scale is because when you scale things up from small scale to large scale, things get very, very complicated very quickly. And given all of that, we want to see what happens to these manhole covers. That's why we're going with the best case scenario. Looking more like a real sewer every minute. Have you guys cleaned up? It's a sewer down here.
It's the best case scenario, but it's not an unrealistic one.
Looks pretty good.
Sewers are naturally confined spaces. Add to that what we know about the instances of standing water or pipe configuration, and this closed system with blockages is the most likely scenario for a blast. With the sewer structure complete,
It's almost done.
it's time to make the earth move.
We're going to bury our sewer under 3 feet of dirt because, well, the dirt is actually an important structural part of the sewer. A sewer that's buried underground, it'll be a lot less likely to blow apart than one that's on the surface.
Indeed, because the only things that are supposed to blow are these.
And now, what this whole thing's all about, the manhole cover.
This is your basic cast iron manhole cover. 24 inches in diameter, 1.25 inches thick, and 103 pounds. If this indeed is going to become our projectile, we want to make sure we see it, so we're going to make it a little more camera friendly.
The distinctive manhole covers are manhandled into place.
You know why manhole covers are round, don't you? It's the only shape that won't fall through its own hole. Yeah.
And now to prep the elements that will make their sewer explosive.
Believe it or not, the methane in this tank is enough to create a blast equivalent to 120 pounds of high explosives. Now, we're not going to put all of this in our sewer. We're only going to put a third of it, or 100 cubic feet, in there. Bye. But just to be safe, we're going to bury this in a pit nearby, and we're going to operate it remotely with a solenoid. Okay, it's done. We're wired.
100 cubic feet of methane will fill their sewer to the perfect stoichiometric ratio for a big boom.
We've optimized the design of our full-scale experiment based on everything we learned in small scale. We are going for the fastest burn or deflagration possible. Now, there is a small chance that we could achieve a detonation. Let's lay some cable. That means in order to be safe, we have to remove all of our systems, the gas release, the gas monitoring, and the ignition, almost 1/4 mile away.
With that, their spectacular sewer is ready for what could be the most explosive debut ever on MythBusters.
They look beautiful.
This sewer is a replica of an actual real-world sewer, except that we've optimized it to give it the best possible chance of actually detonating a gas instead of deflagrating it or burning it. Now, if it just burns, it'll be fairly impressive and the manhole covers will probably go fairly high. But if it detonates, they're really gonna go high. And here's the thing, if it detonates, this will be the first incident that has ever been recorded and documented of a gas detonation occurring from a natural source, like a flame or a spark. That'll be something.
It's official. Over the last 2 days, we have moved the following: 3,500 cubic feet of dirt, 120,000 pounds of reinforced concrete, 300 feet of chain link fence, 5 miles of electrical cable and cording, 3 fans, 2 steel containers. Want to find out what happens when we put all that stuff together and mix it up? Sorry, you're going to have to wait until after the break.
Down at Ione, California, the MythBusters' great drain disaster is about to go off.
Here's how this is gonna work.
We will be activating this experiment from 1,000 feet away in the safety of this steel bunker behind bullet-resistant glass. When I click this switch,
It'll open this valve and allow the methane to flow.
into our homemade sewer buried underground. When the stoichiometry, or the mixture between gas and air, has reached the ideal relationship for an explosion,
I'll hit this switch, creating a spark, which will ignite the gas.
hopefully sending these 3 manhole covers flying sky high. That's the theory.
That's the theory, because if the 103-pound manholes don't fly sky high, the myth is busted.
What we need to see for this myth to be true is pretty straightforward. We need to see some type of shockwave or explosion that does not destroy the sewer and yet launches the manhole covers. And I'm not talking like a boonk boonk. I'm not even talking like a boonk boonk. I'm talking launches them.
Indeed, but this is a very complex setup, and there's a lot that could go wrong.
All this stuff has to work perfectly because once this gas starts to flow, we can't get anywhere near this. It's a bomb. So I'll just keep my fingers crossed.
Well, with the fire department on standby, there's only one way to find out if those manholes will fly.
You ready? I'm going to start the flow of gas.
Let her rip.
It will take 100 cubic feet of methane to get their sewer to the optimum explosive ratio.
21 cubic feet.
About 2%.
1/5 of the way there.
The slow flow of methane into the drain is a strain on their nerves.
This is killing me.
3.6%.
Come on.
And it turns out Adam doesn't have high hopes for the manhole covers.
How high do you think they're gonna go?
I'm thinking 12 feet.
I'm hoping for a lot further than that.
Oh, I'm hoping for more, but I'm thinking 12 feet.
Okay.
We're at 62.6 cubic feet in our chamber. Now, this is at the very bottom of the ignitable range, but not the most volatile, so we still have to wait.
It's that familiar MythBusters waiting game.
That sewer's getting pretty full of methane.
Small scale proved that the perfect stoichiometric ratio sent manholes flying. However, will the full-scale equivalent, 100 cubic feet of methane, prove just as effective?
Shall we do it?
I think it's time.
All right, call it.
All right, real-world sewer explosion, best case scenario, sparking in 3, 2, 1.
Wow! Look at that!
That had to be 100 feet.
That was insane! That exceeded my wildest expectations.
That was significant.
Significant is right. The manholes turn missile, rocketing 150 feet and only returning to Earth after a hang time of 6 seconds.
Go take a look. All right.
And closer inspection of their sewer has the guys astonished at the force of the explosion.
Well, there's 2, there's 3, and number 1 seems to have traveled the farthest. That is one hell of a blast.
I think the whole roof of the sewer came up.
Well, as I'm walking on it, I can feel it feels soft. Do you feel that?
That's what I'm saying. All this dirt kind of came up in the air a foot or something. We should check our high speed.
That was awesome.
Yep, and from the safety of solid ground, the high speed shows that the deflagration of the sewer sent earth and manholes flying.
There they go.
Wow, it's perfect.
They look like flying saucers taking off.
Look at number 2 showing itself to the camera. That is insane. That might be one of my favorite high-speed shots we've ever gotten.
That's gorgeous.
Gorgeous, and also very revealing.
Now, seeing fire coming out of that manhole cover and not the others is telling us that this is not a detonation. If it was a detonation, it'd all be simultaneous. We're not seeing that, so this is a burn.
Yep, but a burn big and fast enough to bring the manhole mayhem to a close.
Well, if there's one thing everyone knows they can expect from a sewer explosion, it's that number 2 is gonna fly into the air, and that's what happened. I'd say mission accomplished.
You know, it kind of makes you wonder, could you get a jet of fire like that coming out of the toilet when you're sitting on it if something like that happened?
Man, that was awesome. We got a super fast burn. We got internal pressures in the sewer of over 100 pounds per square inch, and our manhole covers flew 150 feet in the air.
Yeah, and that wasn't even a detonation. Can you imagine what had happened if the flame front and the shockwave got all lined up? Everything happens at once, and who knows how high they'd go.
Still, we have plenty of information to fully call this myth.
Yep, it's confirmed.
Totally confirmed. Sometimes the truth is far more spectacular than fiction.